Live from the Nicholson School of Communications, it's Tonight's the Night. With special guest Buddy Dyer and comedian Chris Thornhill. And now your host, Chris Nielsen.
Hello, welcome to Tonight's the Night. Let's get this party started with some jokes, shall we? The Detroit Zoo has unveiled a new penguin enclosure that has a price tag of $30 million, which makes it more valuable than the entire city of Detroit. A Tri-Delta kickball tournament raised money for the UCFPD Canine Unit, thus still proving the best way to get girls interested is with a dog. Or a lot of them. An octopus nicknamed Inky escaped from its tank at the National Aquarium of New Zealand, earning the aquarium security guard his new nickname, Crappy. A YouTube video shows how a man modified an e-cigarette to play the mobile game Flappy Bird. Meanwhile, you still can't smoke with your iPhone. A suspect is at large for killing a koi fish in the Burnett Honors College pond. Also still at large is over 1,000 12-year-olds wanted for beta fish negligence. We're on to you. U2 frontman Bono told a Senate subcommittee that they should send comedians like Chris Rock and Amy Schumer to fight ISIS with laughter. At that point, it's kind of hard to do comedy when all you're worried about is bombing. An Australian man was arrested for drunkenly driving a motorized cooler. But to be fair, no one has ever driven a motorized cooler while sober, so... An amphibious Lamborghini is up for sale on eBay, which is great because my dream has always been to buy a Lamborghini and then drive it right into a lake. Billions of cicadas are set to plague the East Coast. Cicadas only surface once every 17 years, so make sure not to spoil Force Awakens for them, okay? Footwear found on a 1,500-year-old mummy appear to resemble Adidas sneakers. Also found near the mummy, a Run DMC album. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we will have a special interview with the Orlando Mayor, Buddy Dyer, so don't go anywhere.
When you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
Hello, my name is Suhaili, and I have an exciting app for all of you millennials out there who are tired of explaining technology to your parents.
Dad, just click on the icon that looks like a paperclip. No, it's up there. Just click it. It doesn't matter how many times you click it.
Introducing Techies. You simply put your parents' zip code. Techies finds hundreds of technicians willing to help. Once you find the perfect technician, you swipe right on their profile.
And that's how you attach an image to an email. Now click send.
Oh, thank you so much.
And if you purchase Techies Plus for only $2.99, our technicians will even sympathize with your parents.
I can't get these computers to work for me anyway.
I know, sometimes computers be crazy.
Today, when you have multiple devices at your fingertips, wouldn't it be great if you could run the software you need on all of them? Well, now you can. UCF Apps is a new and innovative way for you to access the applications that you need to get your coursework done from any PC, Mac, tablet, or smartphone. For more information or to give your input on UCF Apps, go to apps.ucf.edu. What are you waiting for? Start using UCF Apps today.
With me today is the mayor of the city of Orlando, Mr. Buddy Dyer. Thank you for being on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm really excited about this.
So you've been mayor for 13 years?
Into my 14th year, that's exactly
14th
right.
year. Wow. So I guess my first question is, why did you start to go into politics? What made you want to become a politician?
You know, I never really thought about doing that, but when I graduated from law school, I had the opportunity to run for the state senate after I'd been practicing law for about 4 years, and I'm one of those guys that grew up in a not so wealthy family and was able to go to Brown University undergrad with a lot of help from the government and felt like I had the ability and opportunity to give back.
That's awesome. And so 13 years, that's like you've had plenty to do here, and clearly, like just judging from this room, seeing all these trophies, what's it like as mayor? What is like some of the perks that you just realized are like, this is great being the mayor of Orlando?
Well, I do have a car that has lights and sirens in it. That's really
pretty
awesome.
Cool. Can you pull people over?
I don't.
But you could maybe.
I could probably.
Is there there's an election season going on, and you've won elections. Is there a secret to winning an election? Is there?
I think connecting with people, establishing credibility, especially when you're the incumbent or you've been in office and people get to know you. If you do the things that you say you're going to do, that's very important. And then being accessible and connecting with people.
Trustworthiness, and showing people that you're what you say you are.
And each election's a little bit different, and certainly the scale of elections are different at the city level than the state level, and certainly the federal level.
You have that energy, like I can get this position, and then when you're the incumbent, you're like, I just I want to keep this position, right?
Well, it's not so much that, it's you're doing stuff, you know, and all of a sudden you have to divert your attention to being on the campaign trail, and it just diverts your attention.
When you still want to be acting as mayor,
Right, exactly right.
Now, would you compare working in government to something like we do, like a comedy show, or would it be more like a drama show? Is it more like House of Cards, or sometimes is it more like
It probably depends on the given day, because there's certainly some comic relief occasionally. There's probably a little more drama than there needs to be sometimes, but I would say it's a mixture of the two. And although I like House of Cards, I don't know that that's particularly realistic.
It's more fun to probably to watch than be a part
Although
of.
there is strategy that goes on in terms of how do you accomplish a task, how do you start with an idea and make it come true.
Are you guys in government fans of shows like that?
Yes, for the most part.
Now, do you have a favorite TV show or a favorite late night talk show?
Well, let's see. I like probably series, so Game of Thrones, or I used to watch Dexter when
That's
was
a good
on.
show too, yeah.
Banshee.
That's
I don't
awesome.
know if you've ever watched that one, but that
I've heard
season
of
just started again. But I'd have to put Game of Thrones up there. And then since I'm the age that I am, I'll have to go with Saturday Night Live as my favorite late night show. And
fantastic.
especially during a presidential election season, there's no better show.
Well, aside from of course the news to see what's happening in the election, you really want to see what SNL is saying about the election. I love watching it.
Because Tina Fey's more Sarah Palin than Sarah Palin's.
Now, are there any traditions as mayor that you participate in that you really enjoy?
State of the City, which I just had. It's like State of the Union address. But I'd say it's not exactly a tradition. It's a tradition that I've created, but I do work-alongs with city employees. So roughly once a month, I'll go out and try to do the job of one of my city employees. So I've done everything from hang off the back of a garbage truck to clean a wastewater clarifier to revegetate Lake Orlando. So I've welded. One of the coolest ones, we have a wetlands park, which is where the tertiary treated wastewater from Iron Bridge wastewater plant goes. It's out by Fort Christmas, but periodically you have to drain the cells down and then fire all the vegetation. So you start that with a flamethrower. So
you got to use the flamethrower?
I got to use a flamethrower.
That is really cool. And welding? Oh my gosh. I didn't know all this was involved in being mayor. That's really cool.
Well, and what the employees love about it is they figure out they can do their job a lot better than I can.
And it gives them, this guy's mayor and I can do this. Yeah. That's really awesome. You talked about the favorite things about being mayor. Now, when you're not mayor, what are there some things that you really like to do in your free time?
Well, when my kids were younger, I used to coach flag football and baseball and pull them around the lake. They did a lot of wakeboarding, but they're now 20 and 25, so we've diverted into other things. But I like to hunt and fish and play golf would probably be my extracurricular activities.
And
you grew up here. You were born and raised here, right?
I was born right down the street here at what was then Orange Memorial, but Orlando Health now, and I grew up in Kissimmee.
Now, if you were to take someone that hadn't been here before, like maybe even internationally, what would you show them around to? Because there are things like the mouse, of course. There's all that kind of stuff,
I would start.
As a mayor, you know what the good things are.
I would start downtown and Lake Eola Park. I'd want to go on a Sunday when the farmers market is out there, and then I'd stretch out into our Main Street district, so Edgewater Drive, Mills 50, and show them the different parts of the city and some of the great downtown neighborhoods that we have. I think it's extraordinary to have downtown neighborhoods like Delaney Park, College Park, that you're 5 minutes from the downtown and you have great spectacular neighborhoods where people are connected.
To really just show them
the real Orlando.
There's more, the real Orlando. Because Orlando, when I first came here, I was surprised to see what a melting pot it is. Because you can be in one place and it feels like a college town, and then you go to one place and there's a lot of tourists, and then you can go to a place that feels very, very comfortable and homey, I guess.
And I think that's probably the greatest thing about Orlando is its diversity and the fact that, unlike some other places, we embrace the diversity and use that as a strength. We're about fairness, we're about equality, we're about being a place where people your age want to come and live and spend the rest of their lives and raise their families.
What's the part that you're most proud about? Because there is a lot of people just see this city is known around the world, and a lot of people just see it as maybe like a tourist town, but it's so much more than that. What are you most proud of?
I think one of the things that I'm most proud about, and Dr. Hitt and UCF are a big part of this, is the ability to collaborate and partner that we've been able to do. So we've achieved some great successes. UCF Medical School at Lake Nona's Medical City, Sunrail, the community venues, the revitalization of downtown, bringing Major League Soccer here, and they're all because we've been able to put aside partisan differences, jurisdictional differences, and work together for a common vision for Orlando.
As mayor, you get to meet a lot of cool people. Clearly, you've done a lot, like all this amazing things, gotten these awards. Has there anybody that you've met that you were actually starstruck to meet?
So I met the Dos Equis guy,
really,
the most interesting man in the world, and I was out at the NBA All-Star game. We had it here, but they had it in LA the year before, so we went out to benchmark what they were doing right and wrong in that regard. And the only picture I took with or of anyone was with the Dos Equis guy.
That is really cool.
And it turns out he's not a Latino.
Really?
He's actually like a 70-something-year-old Jewish man.
Wow, he does that accent like
I know
perfectly.
I know.
Yeah, did you guys go out and do one of his most interesting parties or anything?
Well, I was up for re-election at the time, and what he said is, I don't always endorse, but when I do, I endorse Buddy Dyer.
Really? Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Did you get a recording of that at all?
I did not.
Oh, man,
we were just playing. You know, somebody else who's great that I would put up there is Lee Corso. He's one of my favorite guys, and actually during this last election, he did a little campaign commercial for me. He did a City of Orlando game day.
Really?
And Chris Leak was his commentator with him, and they did a pick in the mayor of Orlando's race. So he went through the whole thing and then put on a Buddy Dyer head and endorsed me. So that was great.
How do you feel when something like that happens?
It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Corso is just such a great guy.
Are you often recognized when you go out on the?
Pretty much all the time,
Nice.
at least in the city of Orlando, and I find that wherever I go, I generally run into somebody that's from Orlando. So some odd places. I was once I was out skiing and went in to get a massage, and I was changing in the locker room, and a guy says, "Hey, Mayor, how you doing?" So that was out in Colorado. So just the oddest places, I'll run into people that I know.
That's great.
Or know me, anyways.
You're a big man on campus.
I don't know about that, but if you're mayor in Orlando, everybody's going to know you if they're from Orlando.
What are some of the daily tasks that you go through being mayor that people might not necessarily know about?
Well, there's not a single day that's the same, and there's not a single day that when you start your day, it actually goes exactly as you thought it was going to, because we end up being very responsive to things that happen in city government, whether it's something that happens with OPD or OFD, but we have city council meetings every other Monday, so that's a routine. We generally have a number of press conferences or events that I attend, a lot of briefings, because what people don't realize is I'm on a lot of boards. So I'm on the Airport Authority, I'm on OUC, Links, the regional bus service, Metro Plan, the Expressway Authority. So you end up spending a lot of time on those activities, which I don't think people often think, oh, the mayor's probably in a board meeting today, other than the city council meetings.
Wow, you have so much to do. I really respect you for having to do all this and keep all this in your head.
You know what, though? It's a lot of fun. I enjoy getting up every day and coming to City Hall or wherever I'm going to be. And I always tell people that I don't work. I just come in and be the mayor.
That's awesome. Now, will we see you at the next UCF football game, possibly?
Season opener? Yeah, I'll definitely be there. I don't remember who the first game is with.
I'm not sure, actually, either.
I generally try to make a lot of the home games, and I generally travel with a team to one away game every year. And they lost about the first 6 that I traveled on, so I thought maybe I was a bad luck charm, but I was always picking the games that were going to be significant if they won them. So Syracuse or South Carolina, Florida. So I decided I better go to one that I think they're going to win. So I picked the Memphis game one year, and they did win that one, and they won a subsequent game that I've been on. So I'm like 2-10.
See, you're not a bad luck charm.
No.
See, we need to have you back. Thank you, Buddy Dyer, for being on the show. It was great to have you.
Go Knights, charge on.
Thank you to Mayor Buddy Dyer for allowing us to interview you at City Hall. Up next, we have comedian Chris Thornhill, so stay tuned.
For centuries, man has sought to reach the stars, but we've been limited only to the nearest of celestial bodies. Until now.
After decades of research, Project Tachyon has discovered the secret to light speed travel. Using a special receiver, the object is accelerated to near light speed and delivered to its other half.
While we are still developing the means to travel without the use of a receiver, the technology is here. With just the click of a button, this object will be sent to our research lab.
As you can see, the object arrived unaltered and stable. We are still testing the system with more complex organisms, but we believe human travel is only the next step. Our eyes are still set to the stars.
Tonight on Deals After Dark. When I think of quality sunglasses, I think of boldness, but simplicity. And nothing provides both of those more than this set. Tonight, we have a pair of beautiful used matte black Oakley Holbrook sunglasses. These glasses offer an American frame accented with metal rivets and Oakley icons, perfect for buyers seeking performance and style. And do we have a deal for you guys tonight? For the next 40 seconds, that's right, 40 seconds, you have a chance to get your hands on this exclusive featured price of $110 or best offer. This deal, usually only available on Craigslist, could be yours for the 8 super easy payments of $13.75. Wow, I'm now hearing that we've actually gone down to one single pair. So if you're interested in this deal or any other products from our program, you can always log on to dealsafterdark.com or call us at 1-800-555-DEAL. See you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to welcome our first ever comedian to Tonight's the Night, Chris Thornhill. So take it away. Give him a round of applause.
Yes. Hooray me. Thank you for that joyous applause. Give it up for Chris. Great host. This is live, right? My name's Chris, too. My last name's Thornhill, so it's like Chris T. And I knew I was funny in 3rd grade because there was 4 other Chris's in the class, so I was the 5th one, and I was the last one alphabetically. And I had a substitute teacher, and she thought she'd be clever when she got to my name. She's like, "Is Chris T here?" Ha ha ha. And I was like, "I prefer Christ, actually." Gotcha. Bow. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was pretty much like then on. I'm going to talk to you guys. I just went to the McDonald's right down the road from UCF, and it's all fancy and brick now. Have you noticed that? It's like they're like trying to get the hipsters to go, you know what I mean? Like, look how artistic it looks, which is so weird. But then I noticed they took out all like the ball pins and like a bunch of the playpen stuff, which is really saying to the kids like, hey, you can get fat here, you just can't exercise here. at all. You know what I mean? Too many kids got stuck in the tube like Augustus Gloop from Willy Wonka. Like, I can't get out. They just become German in my mind. At that point, like rubbing McDoubles to get them out. You know, like that's how I picture it. Yeah, I was there with a friend, and we were talking about like hip hop and stuff like that. And her favorite rapper is Rick Ross, which I don't understand because he's the only rapper that sounds like he has McDoubles in his mouth all the time. Like he's just like, oof, it just crumbles everywhere. I just picture him and Adele just chowing down like constantly, like in my mind. That's how I see that. Like he's always worn like the first 3 shirts have been dirty, like always. So he's always in like that wife beater. She's like, don't sleep on Rick Ross though, and I was like, why? He looks so comfy. Like. It's like a giant tow truck, I'll just hop on him and fly away. Like, that's how I picture hanging out with Rick Ross 100% of the time. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Chris. I'm Hispanic. I know I don't look it. I'm like the Blade of Hispanic people. Like, you know, I can walk into a white girl's house and nothing happens. That's what I'm getting. You know what I mean? Like, that's the life I live. But I was born in Portland, so it's a little different. You know what I mean? Like, I use tortillas Hispanic, but I'm not, like, in mechanic school Hispanic. You know what I mean? It's a little different. You know, like, my mom doesn't go to Valencia. That's, like, where I'm at as far as, like, how Hispanic I am. You know what I mean? It's a little different is what I'm saying. Like that's where like the polka dots and beard comes from is like Portland. You know what I mean? I have a brother and we look pretty much identical. It's it's kind of uncomfortable. Like whenever we walk somewhere, someone's got to ask if we're twins. But the weirdest time, I was walking out of Publix with him and someone pulled over, got out of their car and was like, "Hey, y'all twins?" And I was like, I don't want to ruin her day because she did all that because we're not twins. So we're just like, yeah. But I want to think that's how she gets all her information. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's today Tuesday. Yes, Rhonda, it's Tuesday. You always do this. Am I late for work? You're always late for work, Rhonda. You do this every day. It's exhausting. Yeah, like I said, I go to school here at UCF. It's pretty dope. I have a friend that moved to Florida for school. And usually when you hear that, it's because they go to like, you know, Full Sail or something. They got some bad information. So like they go to Full Sail. I live right by Full Sail. It's crazy. If you ever want to see 30 people never going to achieve their dreams, just look at University and Cimarron and watch them cross the street to Taco Bell. Throw it some shade. Come at me, Full Sail. No, go Knights. Anyways, my friend was like, yeah, I go to school here. I moved from Hawaii. And I was like, you moved from Hawaii to Florida? Like, have you not been on the news? Do you not know? You know, like, have you heard of Florida? No, he's like, yeah, I came here to go to school. I'm like, oh, okay, where'd you go? And he's like, oh, Valencia. I'm like, Valencia? He's like, yeah, I got to move, man. Oh, cereal's $11 in Hawaii. I'm like, you need to make your life decisions on things more important than cereal, buddy. That's a little too much, you know? Like, he's like, yeah, but no, here, I'm going to transfer to UCF after 2 years. I'm like, they all think they're transferring to UCF in 2 years. Trust me. That's like, trust me, if you do that, you're lucky. He's like, no, yeah. I'm like, what's your major? And he's like, oh, I want to be a youth minister. I'm going for religion. I'm like, youth minister? You don't need to get $50,000 in debt to be a youth minister? I thought you just need to kind of understand basketball and survive a sort of cancer. You know what I mean? Like, that's all it takes. You know what I mean? Like, let's play some basketball, guys. Like, that's pretty much the top skill, like, that it takes. You know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna leave you guys with this. I don't know if you could tell, but I just got a girlfriend, which is weird because I'm like way too shaped like a hobbit to be like having a girlfriend as pretty as I have. Like when I get a girl, you know, whenever you get a girlfriend, the girls are like, oh my God, what could have been? When I get a girlfriend, they're like, I'm glad you're not alone. You know what I mean? My girlfriend's so pretty, it's kind of like, people are like, blink twice. That's the type of thing that like when I get with my girlfriend, she super loves that joke. And we met on Tinder, so I don't know if I'm supposed to say that out loud, but thanks. My name's Chris Thornhill. You guys have been a lot of fun.
Hey, you up for a little bit of an interview here? Yeah, all right. So I want to ask you, so what made you start getting into comedy? That was a great set, by the way. Get one more round of applause for him, everybody. Yeah. You got them, yeah. Yeah, you still yeah, we need to hear you.
Yeah, I got into comedy because when I was 15, I was watching Everybody Loves Raymond with my dad, and I was like, this is not funny at all. So I was like, yeah, maybe I should do comedy. And my dad's like, no, you shouldn't. You're not that funny. And I was like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure that's how every teen movie starts, doing what my dad doesn't tell me to do. So, yeah, that was my entry.
So Raymond clearly wasn't a comedian that inspired you.
No, yeah. Honestly,
I mean, a little bit he inspired you, but yeah. Are there any other comedians where you're
he's
like,
the arch villain in my
guy.
story, you know what I mean?
Wow. It's a nemesis.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know. I really admire. There's so many local comedians. Like one Preacher Lawson. You look him up. He just moved to LA. He's a big inspiration. You just go to him. There's so many. Orlando's really dope. So if there's so many mics that you can go to check out local comedy. There's improv here at UCF. That's a lot of fun. There's a lot of places where you can just experience it. Obviously, you know, Louis C.K., Hannibal Buress. Those are, you know, I watched Dave Chappelle and I was like, yes. But yeah, there's a lot of local funny that exists. So yeah, definitely check it out.
Now, you've done this plenty of times before. Have there been like multiple challenges you've had to overcome? What's the toughest part about being a stand-up comedian?
I would say no one being there changes the dynamic a lot.
A bit.
You know what I mean? Like I've done a bar in Winter Park where like someone just walked in and I was like, hey, and it was like a 10,000-year-old man, and he just like grumbled with his lunch as he went to go drink his life savings away. And that was, you know, I don't know if he was prepared for my witty Snapchat humor. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he was ready.
Really prepared. That wasn't the audience you prepared for, was it?
Yeah, you know.
But there's some rewards, right? What's the most rewarding part about it for you?
I don't know. For all the artists out there, like comedy is instant gratification. So it's like funny, and then they laugh, and I'm like, I'm stronger now. You know, like that's how that works. When you're writing a story, you know what I mean? If you're a writer or whatever, it takes a long time before you get that gratification. You know, the only time I've really got to use "Do you know who I am?" I was doing a show downtown, and I was on the flyer and everything. But when I walked to the door, he was like, "That's $10," and I'm like, "Do you know who I am?" And immediately I knew I'd never get to say that again in my career. So really enjoy it. I'm like, I'm on the flyer that I printed and brought with me. But like, no,
you got to seize those opportunities.
Yeah, definitely.
What advice do you have for someone who is looking to be interested in doing stand-up?
Just do it, man. There's a mic in Orlando pretty much every night. So if you want to just go bomb, just go bomb, dude. It's life is as dope as you make it. So definitely go reach out there and do something cool. Really, there's not a lot stopping you from, you know, being a comedian. So yeah, it's definitely free. I mean, you might as well.
So I'm gonna ask you where we can catch you next live.
I guess on Tinder, you could probably swipe right if you see me. No,
that's a reliable place.
Yeah. No, I'm all over Orlando. Yeah, Dandelion on Tuesdays is a lot of fun. There's a little poetry mic, but I sneak my comedy in there sometimes. So definitely come out and buy me alcohol. For I am lonely and need friends. So no, yeah, that's pretty much where you could catch me right now.
Awesome.
All right.
Now, where can we find you on social media if anybody wants to get a hold of you that way?
Instagram is hey_Chris_. Facebook, Chris Thornhill. Twitter, Chris Blue Sky, I guess. Yeah. I'll if you follow me on Instagram.
Now your number? No, I'm just kidding. No, not all your information.
If you follow me on Instagram, I'll find like a really old picture and like it and write something really weird. That's my offer to you.
Let's guarantee.
You know what I mean?
All right. Thank you very much, Chris Thornhill.
All right, thanks, you guys have been great.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We hope you'll join us next week for our 1-hour season 2 finale. Twice the guests, twice the music, twice the me. What more could you want? Good night, everybody. Thank you so much again. That was great.